Let's get to it. Oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my God. Let's get to it. Yeah. 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 Y'all already know what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Episode 72 of the Areola Rollercoaster podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm your host for the evening, man. Your boy Starks. You know what I'm saying? We got a new camera angle, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get used to that. Happy to be here as usual, you know what I'm saying? Kicking it with my folks, man. Bringing these jokes to the masses. You know how we do. Yo, is my mic on? Mic check. We ready to fight, Holmes. Every time we do episode, we be feeling like we are next to blow, but yo, we in Kentucky. Keep the beat going, man. You know what I'm saying? We never getting lucky. I'm playing off the gram. It's all cool. I'm like Uncle Sam. I need to pay what's due to me. Young Steezo, Steezy. Understand he is the one. We having fun. We can fight no guns. Yeah, the prodigal son, the prodigal one. Riding all the chicks' parties. You know what I'm saying? We just drinking Bacardi, psych, water. Understand me, man. We flow like it. Young Steezy. You know he's the nicest and he's so nice, bitch. Understand me? Young Steezy, ride in Candy. Episode 72, next 73. Yeah, we here to do it, man. Let's get it. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh my, oh my God. You dig. Kurt Machiavelli, what up, though? Only one mystical in the building. What up, though, man? You know what I'm saying? We on the Areola Roller Coaster podcast, man. Episode 72, man. You know how we do. And I named this episode, man, episode 72, 144 picks versus Shedeur. You know what I mean? We ain't gonna waste no time to get straight to it. As y'all already know, we done condensed the podcast from an hour and a half to a half an hour. You know what I'm saying? We keeping up with the attention span and all that, man. So we ain't gonna waste no time. We're gonna get straight to it, man. Everybody saw the draft. You know what I'm saying? We all saw the draft, and we saw the main story of the draft, which was Shedeur Sanders. But before we get into that, I want to give the show a round of applause. You know what I'm saying? Round of applause, because we do have a sponsor. You know what I'm saying? A sponsor of the show. A sponsor of the Areola Roller Coaster podcast, man. You know what I'm saying? The sponsor is Star Quality Carpet Cleaning, man. You know what I mean? Servicing all your carpet cleaning needs. They do upholstery, they do carpet cleaning, they do towel floor cleaning, and commercial or residential, man. You know what I'm saying? It ain't quality if it ain't Star Quality, man. Shout out to Star Quality Carpet Cleaning, an official sponsor of the Areola Roller Coaster podcast, man. Round of applause for them, man. You know what I'm saying? Round of applause for them, man. But getting into it, man, you know what I'm saying? We know Shedeur Sanders was projected to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, 2025 NFL draft. And what ended up happening was Shedeur Sanders slid. You know, he slid in the draft. A lot of people slid. They slide, a couple picks or whatnot. But he slid from being top 5, almost projected to be number 1. He slid from 1 to 144th. The 144th pick. A lot of people are outraged. Everybody was kind of insulted by it because a lot of teams picked quarterbacks who were not better than Shedeur Sanders. And basically, when you get lower picks, for those that don't know, when you get lower picks in the draft, you get less money. So with him sliding in the draft, he's projected to have lost about $30 million in a contract. You know what I'm saying? $30 million in a contract, which is crazy. It's not as crazy because, he comes from a family that's already wealthy. So it ain't like, I was planning to buy my parents a house and now I can't, not to mention with Colorado and everything, they got a lot of NIL money going, so I don't think they hurting for any money, but we did see a lot of conspiracy feeling kind of things going on, you know what I'm saying? The one called Zeno, what up, though? What up? So as we all watched, we saw Cam Ward go number 1. We saw Travis Hunter go 2 to the Jags. We thought that Shedeur was going to go to the Giants, and instead they picked Jackson Dart, which is a good pick. And then we thought, well, okay, he's going to slide to either the Saints or the Steelers, and the Saints and the Steelers passed on him. So it's like, okay, he's going to slide to the the Browns, Cleveland Browns. And not only did they pass on him, but they passed on him 2 more times before they actually picked him up for the 144th pick, man, which is crazy. Because just listening to other NFL guys and former NFL players, they're saying like basically they brought you in as a backup and you have to prove yourself with minimal opportunity to prove yourself. A lot of people's blaming it on Deion Sanders, the cockiness and kind of Shedeur's attitude going into it, like he felt entitled, talking to these people. We don't know. We'll never know what the inside is, but we do know that a franchise like the Cleveland Browns, you can kind of tell that they goofy, okay? We can see the goofiness going on in the Cleveland Browns. And I say that because they had traded away the pick to get Travis Hunter. They could have got Travis Hunter in the first round. Instead, they traded away the pick. They traded away the pick, and the Jacksonville Jaguars got it. And they could have had both Shedeur and Travis Hunter in the first round. Instead, they chose to draft Dylan Gabriel or something like that from Oregon. He's all right quarterback, but I don't think he's better than Shedeur Sanders. So with them drafting him, they got 5 quarterbacks in the quarterback room. They got 40-year-old Joe Flacco. They have Deshaun Watson, who's on his second ACL tear on the same leg. They have Pickett from the Steelers, which they plan on probably dropping him and getting rid of him. Then they got Dylan Gabriel, and then they got Shedeur Sanders like last. So we know that Pickett and Deshaun Watson is out of the picture probably for this upcoming season. So, and then you got, basically leading the helm is a 40-year-old Joe Flacco who's been done, but he's just collecting checks at this point, just being a vet in the locker room and whatnot. And a lot of people just chalked it up to conspiracy, man, and it kind of took over. A lot of people said the conspiracy was that they wanted Shedeur Sanders to learn a lesson. On top of that, the NFL wanted to extend it 3 days because the draft has never had this much attention for this long. It's usually the first round that gets all the attention and everybody stops paying attention. So everybody watched for 3 days because we was trying to see what was going to happen with Shedeur. I was like, yo, he's being blackballed. Something is going on. I don't know if it's his hair texture or what. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Shedeur, I always say when women cut their hair and go natural, I got a partner, man. His baby mama cut her hair and went natural. And I was like, bro, I ain't even gonna lie. She look like Shedeur Sanders now. Like when Shedeur be rocking that fro, that's that baby mama go natural fro, man. Maybe that wasn't appealing to teams or whatnot. But Shedeur got on the Browns, man, and they picked him up. And basically, I think it's weird because as your 144th pick in the 5th round, the team actually is making like media clips and media posts regarding surrounding Shedeur Sanders. Like he's getting more attention than the other quarterbacks added onto the team. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, he's in Cleveland. He's going to the schools, speaking to the kids. He's getting a lot of attention. He's already leading the team in jersey sales. We don't even know his number yet. You see what I'm saying? Like a lot of people's like the NFL is trying to teach Deion a lesson. Because Deion did talk his talk, but that's what he do. He was feeling like Archie Manning and them could say that I don't want my son to go to a certain team. So, I'm going to say the same thing. I don't want my son to go to a certain team. That's neither here nor there. I heard that the owners, like a lot of teams had Shedeur on the draft board, but owners was coming in like, take him off the draft board. We don't like him. With the New York Giants, they said he had a terrible interview. And things happen, you know what I'm saying? Everything's not going to be perfect. But whatever happened in that interview, the Giants was no longer interested. So they moved on to Jackson Dart. You know, all of that's to be seen because, you know, if Shedeur can turn Cleveland around to where they are some sort of a contender, you know, everybody's gonna have to eat crow for a long time. You know what I'm saying? It's a high chance that he could get cut too, you know, because with him being where he's at, he's basically a practice squad guy. He's basically the backup to the backup, you know, like so he's gonna have to earn his way with a minimal amount of opportunity. Like, you know, first team, they get all the reps. They get 10, let's just say first team get 10 reps. You know, second team's gonna get 5 reps. Shedeur and them's gonna get like 1 or 2 reps. You know, and you got to prove yourself and be successful in those 1 or 2 reps to show that you can get up to 5 or 10 reps. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm rooting for Shedeur. As soon as they get a number, I'm getting me a Shedeur jersey on the strength. You know what I'm saying? I used to play for the Browns in Little League, Martin Luther King Browns. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't no problem rocking the Browns jersey. You know what I'm saying? With the Shedeur on, with the Sanders on the back, I'm on it, man. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Shedeur Sanders. Shout out to Shiloh. You know what I mean? Getting drafted to the Bucks. You know what I mean? That was a beautiful thing. And you know, it was surrounded by a lot of controversy and drama, and it kind of overshadowed everything that was going on because we knew that Shedeur Sanders should not have been waiting that long to be picked. And I think it was weird on Cleveland's side, like to not even pick him up that early. Like I think they went a defensive lineman they first pick or something. You know, it was all weird, man. So to see the machine go against you like that, we kind of know what the NFL is on, man. And you know, that's wild to me, man. 144 picks versus Shedeur. You know, for him to, hey, you know, the wildest part about that, man, is while he's waiting on that moment, which is basically the moment he's been waiting for all his life since Little League, which is getting that call, you know, to say you've been drafted that moment. You know what I mean? You got your family there, cameras is there, everybody's, you know, the world is watching. And man, Shedeur Sanders got prank called by some people playing like they was the Saints GM saying that they was going to draft him. It's like I couldn't even watch the video at first because it was cringy. It was cringy to see, man. Like, you know, I think it was just wild for me to see, man. Like, and the wild part about it all was come to find out this was some players that play for Ole Miss who one of the players, Jax Ulbrich, his dad is a coach for the Falcons, and he left his iPad open at home, which had Shedeur's number. Shedeur's number was he got that phone only for the draft. Like, so the teams could have his number, and we know that anytime it rings, we know it's business, you know, type action. And he stole his number off the iPad, took it to his friends, and they prank called him during the draft, which is wild. So check this out. Listen to this, man.
This is Mickey Loomis here, the GM of the New Orleans Saints. How you doing? This is Mickey Loomis here, GM of the Saints.
How you doing?
Good. How are you, man?
Good. Been waiting on you.
Yeah, we have. It's been a long wait, man. We're gonna take you with our next pick right here, man.
This ain't be nothing to do.
But you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer, man. Sorry about that.
So that's them doing the prank on him, talking about you got to wait a little bit longer. And once you see the video, you see him kind of raise up, like, y'all hear that? Like, you know, because the family was getting around, they was getting excited, thinking he was going to the Saints, and they prank called him on one of the most important days of his life. Like, they legit ruined that moment and stained that moment, you know, for the rest of, like, he'll never have that moment. That one, because you only really get that one opportunity, and you know, he'll never get that moment in purity. And stupid enough, these dumbasses, man, they actually taped it happening. Like, they recorded it and uploaded it somewhere to where the world could see them actually doing the prank. So it's 3 players from Ole Miss, and they was involved in pranking Shedeur Sanders. And come to find out, um, you know, that his dad is a coach for the, for the Atlanta Falcons. Somebody had to answer for this, what that means is his dad could very well have his job in jeopardy because he just leaked confidential information, which caused this thing to happen. Like his dad is responsible for that. So what ended up happening was the NFL fined the Atlanta Falcons $250,000, and then they fined his dad $100,000 for this happening. And they made Jax Albrecht call him and apologize, and he released he did like a press release of what he said, like how he apologized, and he said on Friday night I made a tremendous mistake. Shedeur, what I did was completely inexcusable, embarrassing, and shameful. I'm so sorry it took away from your moment. It was selfish and childish. I could never imagine getting ready to celebrate one of the greatest moments of your life, and I made a terrible mistake and messed up that moment. Thank you for accepting my call earlier today. I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me, Shedeur Sanders. First of all, that was a PR move. They wrote that. You just got to physically, put it out there that you apologized. And, what is he supposed to do? Go off on you on the phone? It's like, I got bigger fish to fry. I got drafted 144th. I got bigger fish to fry. But, as his pops, I know his father is hot. I know he probably jacked that boy up and cussed him out in 7 different languages. For real, though. Because you put me in jeopardy and I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. I'm just a part of the staff doing what I'm paid to do. And here you are. I'm not supposed to have to lock my iPad in my house. You know what I'm saying? What if he got fired? He just lost 100 racks. Like your dad just lost 100 racks, boy. All because you was playing around. Now just imagine that Jax Albrecht gets good enough to make it to the NFL, and then your draft night comes. You're going to be on pins and needles not knowing what's going to happen to you next because you wanted to play around. What if Ole Miss decides that they want to kick you off the team because you making the university look bad? You're going to throw your career away for some jokes. You know what I mean? We in a climate, man. You white, you can't do that. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? That was deep, man. His father had to have a press conference, and he had to talk his talk.
To Shedeur and Sanders family for what occurred. Second of all, I want to publicly apologize to Mr. Blank, Terry Fontenot, Raheem Morris, the entire Falcons organization. My actions of not protecting confidential data were inexcusable. My son's actions were absolutely inexcusable. And for that, we are both deeply sorry.
You get the gist of what's going on. Like you gotta go out there and you gotta publicly apologize. And they probably implement something to where you gotta probably do a fingerprint verification or something to get into the you know what I mean? They'll implement something going on to tighten that up and make sure that never happens again. But that was wild. Never seen nothing like it in the whole time of the draft where somebody prank called and acted like, that was gonna happen. So shout out to Shedeur Sanders, man. You know what I mean? The world, you got the whole world in front of you. Shout out to Shiloh Sanders. Shout out to Deion Sanders, man. You know what I mean? And the wrong kind of news took over the draft, but that was what it was, man. Shannon Sharpe is in a heap of trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get to it.
Shannon Sharpe is in a heap of trouble, man. I'm on Shannon Sharpe's side, man. But as we all know, he got the SA lawsuit against him. And a couple more people has stepped forward and started pressing charges against him, man. And listen, man, it is tough to be under fire and still have a machine that has to run in spite of. Like he stepped away from ESPN, but you got to understand, he just built this whole corporation, which is Shay Media. So he has to still stream. He has to do nightcap. He has to do Club Shay Shay, all of that. He still has to operate like none of this stuff is happening in real time. And I can't help but to think, with all of this going on, everybody's not outraged at the actual allegations. Everybody's just outraged that it's white women. Because nobody knew that Shannon Sharp was into white women like that. And there's nothing wrong with white women. It's nothing wrong, but you just didn't expect for a Hall of Fame NFL player who talk about you got to be too something to do something. You know what I'm saying? To have like a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, 160-pound white girl. I'm like, you done told us all of these parables and quotes that your grandparents then gave you, and your granddaddy didn't tell you nothing about 20-year-old white women? Did he tell you nothing about no 20-year-old white women? My grandfather always told me, if she's 20 and white, she's all right.
Oh my God.
Hey, man. Listen. Shannon Sharp, man. They showed a video of Shannon Sharp dancing, and I instantly understood what was up. I was like, yeah, he like white women. I could tell. Look at, he ain't got no rhythm. To be a wide receiver, a tight end, somebody who can catch like he catches, to run routes like he runs routes. How does he have no rhythm? That is a quagmire within itself. Hey, boy, Shannon Sharp, man, like it's tough, man. It's tough because it's like to build an empire and be successful in your second career, and then to be taken down by somebody who hasn't even started their first, has to hurt, bro. Because the word on the street, I don't know, it's just the word on the street, but the word on the street is that the $100 million deal is off the table. You know, in lieu of the scandal, the $100 million deal is off of the table. On top of that, they said that, you know, they're trying to keep it, they're trying to keep it PC, but they saying that he's not going to return to ESPN. They just wanted it to seem like, you know, at the beginning of the preseason that he'll be back, but kind of word around ESPN is that he ain't coming back. You know, so if you agree and he gets $4 to $5 million a year from ESPN. So if you lose $4 to $5 million on top of $100 million, all for some 20-year-old white coochie.
Oh my God.
Oh man, that's tough. That's tough. Everybody got their kinks. You know what I'm saying? I ain't mad at people with kinks. I mean, you know, your fetish is your fetish. I'm not here to judge nobody because I too have fetish. I have a fetish. I'm all man. I got a fetish. Yes, I do. I do. My fetish is women being accountable. That don't unturn me on like a woman being accountable. You said sorry. You said that's your fault. Let me take his shirt off real quick. Let me pull these pants down. You said it's your fault. I am turned on. I got a fetish for accountable women. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he's into BDSM. BDSM. I need to find out the actual definition. That's how far I'm not into that. Like, let me see. Let me see. It says bondage and discipline, domination and submission, sadism and masochism. So bondage and discipline, domination and submission, sadism and masochism. That word's kicking my ass. Sadism and masochism. Wow. I don't even know what none of that is. I am a level 1 freak. In and out. That's all I need, baby. That's all I need. You can save your money on the outfits, all that. I like the stuff underneath the outfit. Like we ain't even gotta go through all that. We can be economical lovers. You hear me? we ain't gotta do none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, listen, man. He has a BDSM fetish for younger women. Shannon Sharp is 57, man, with a 20-year-old girl, man. I want to be clear that I'm still on Shannon Sharp's side. But to be 57, I'm 42, bro. I'm 42, bro. I can't even see myself talking to somebody who's 30. You just don't have the emotional maturity that I need to function. We not gonna argue about parking spaces and you know what I mean? Like, we not gonna argue about none of that. Like, I ain't got the capacity to do none of that. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be with somebody that's 20, like, bro, do you remember how childish you was at 20? Not understanding life, things that you was actually upset at. Like, I remember, bro. I remember, bro. At 20, they probably taught us, but I was too busy telling jokes in class. But I don't remember them teaching us this. We didn't get taught how to properly fill out an application, like a job application, right? Like, you might have practiced a couple times, like, if you went to like a summer camp or some type of stuff, but I've never had formal training in how to fill out an application. So by this time, by 20, I had already had a few jobs. Because in Kentucky, we had teen jobs. We had, you can get a job. I had a job at 13. I had a job at like 15, 16, something like that. And then my whole senior year, I worked, so by 20, I had already, kind of been in the workforce. But my last job, I worked at Pizza Hut, and I had got fired from Pizza Hut on my day off, like Craig from Friday. I got fired I came in to pick up a check. And for some reason, when I went in the office and I got my check, it was a woman standing there, and she was like mean mugging me and like pointing at me. And then this manager, like white lady, she came up and she's like, "You need to apologize to her." And I'm like, "Apologize to who?" And she's like, "Apologize to her right here. She said you knocked her over and she fell." And I'm like, I'm like, huh? Like, literally, it didn't happen. Like, none of the sort happened. And she's like, kind of attitudinal with me, like, "You need to apologize right now." And I'm like, "I'm not apologizing for nothing because I didn't do nothing." And I walked out. And I'm like, "You tripping?" So I come back my scheduled day. They got the pink slip ready. That was when you was getting pink slips. They got the pink slip ready. I done got fired because I didn't apologize to somebody that I didn't knock down. I say all of that to say, I was telling that whole story on my application. Because you know how they say, if you how did you leave this job? Please explain. So I'm telling the whole story because I didn't know no better, man. I didn't know no better. I'm like, because you know what I'm saying? I ain't even knock her over. I just came to pick up a check on my day off, and I just refused to apologize because I wasn't in the wrong. I'm sure you agree. Like, I'm like, bro, I'm almost having to flip over right on the other side because I'm telling the whole story in this little bitty box. I think about that all the time. Like, bro, I had no clue. I had no idea. I try to enforce that in my kids. Like, "Hey, bro, this is how you fill out the application, bro. Like, don't be like me. Don't be like me, man." Hey, man, that was a wild time, bro. Like, that really happened to me, man. I gave too much info. Get Money says, "I always wanted to ask you this. Who are your top 5 comedians of all time?" It varies. It varies. My top comedians, one, like everybody always goes, Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy. That was before my time. I recognize their greatness. I know that they're great and they're legends, but that was before my time. So it ain't sitting in my soul like it is with the people of my time. So, one, Martin Lawrence, you know what I mean? Um, Bernie Mac, um, Bernie Mac, you got I could go so many of them, but Bernie Mac, who else? Mike Epps. You can go. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank right now. The one that passed away from New York. Super funny. That passed away from New York. Him. Pat. What's his name? I can't think of it right now. But him, and then because I like so many comedians, it's hard to like put some in the top. But Arnaz J. I just say Arnaz J. Like, you know, just randomly throwing them out there. Like it's certain parts of comedy that just kind of, you know, gains my attention. But yeah, just to throw something out there. Yeah. CDS the Great said what? Yeah. Hey, listen, man, my application skills was terrible until they wasn't. Like, and then nobody still taught me because I never told nobody. I just wondered why I never got those jobs. Like, I just wondered why. I was like, man, they didn't call me back. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like time progressing, you get older and you find out more and you learn more. I'm like, bro, I was not supposed to do that. And I did that with a lot of applications because I was like, that was when you go to the phone book and try to find a job. Like looking at places in the phone book and then going to those places and filling out paper applications because internet applications wasn't a thing yet. You know what I'm saying? So really writing the whole story of why I got fired. You know what I'm saying? And then I started learning. I'm like, they don't know my history. I ain't even include that job no more on nothing. Like ever again. You know what's crazy about that job is I got fired, right? I did knock the lady over. I don't know what happened with that. I don't know why I was chose. I don't know. But I tried to go downtown and fill out for unemployment. I'm 20 years old. Like, man, let me get some money. I ain't got no money, man, coming in. Like, let me get some unemployment. So I go to unemployment, and the lady that was the supervisor, the manager of the store, she, like, you know, because when you do unemployment, they send the letter to the store, you know, and then they got to approve it, and then, you know, boom. It's no effect on the store. Nobody loses money. It's just the government helping you out when you lose a job. This lady denied my unemployment. She made sure that I didn't get unemployment to the point where we had to have a mediation meeting. And the lady showed up and fought to make sure that I didn't get unemployment. And she was nothing but a supervisor. Like nothing but. I'm 20 years old, bro. Crazy. I'll never forget that, man. Crazy, man. That was that was real life, man. Shannon Sharp going through it though, man. Shannon Sharp is, listen, man. I know he wake up queasy every day, bro. Stomach just hurting. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this with nobody talking about, but it's a visual lesson for everybody. I want you to pay attention. They love you until they don't love you no more. They love you until they don't love you no more. What do I mean by that? Let me tell you what I mean. They love you until they don't love you no more because everybody was rocking with Club Shay Shay. Cat Williams interview, etc. Everybody was rocking with Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Uncle Shay Shay, this, that, and the third, right? All of a sudden, this happens. Now everybody's like, yeah, I thought he was. Everybody got something negative to say. All the way to the point where now they micromanaging him. They looking at every little thing he does. He had like a outburst on his nightcap show. But it wasn't even an outburst. He's just telling somebody to shut up. But he just said it aggressively. He's like, shut the fuck up. Like, you know, because if you sitting here and you already stressed and you're trying to get the show done, you know, stuff might not be working right in the background, or somebody around you know what's going on and they still being loud to the show. It's like, you're not finding this as important as I am. Meanwhile, this is what's taking care of all of us type action. So he tells them to shut up, like on some, you know, and people took it way out of context, man. Listen to this, man, and see if this is just enough to be out of context.
Two teams that call me, Ocho, say, what's your phone number? Where you gonna be?
Who that?
Shut the fuck up. next door.
See, like, what is like? So what? Like, shut the fuck up. Like, what is the harm in that? Like, everybody, oh yeah, he's guilty. He did it. Yeah, he's cooked. He's stressed out. Look at him. He's stressed. It's an operation, bro. Like, we are live. Shut up. Like, quiet on the set. If you actually, I'm an avid podcast listener. When it gets too wordy and people's talking over each other or people's talking in the background, usually the person on the A mic, the person hosting, tells people to quiet down or shut the fuck up. Because you need to hear stuff clearly. And if people's conversating and people's talking in the background, you're messing things up. That's the same thing if I'm on stage and I'm telling jokes. I don't need you having a sad conversation. The whole point is for you to be listening, because we don't need that alternative noise, right? Everybody took it out of context. Now it's like it's a news clip. It's newsworthy that he said, shut the fuck up. It's like, bruh, like now he can't be human no more. Everything he do is going to be under a microscope now. I say all that to say, stay away from the 20-year-old coochie, bro. I don't know. I'm a different breed. I can't see it, bro. I can't see it. My son is 22. What I look like with a 20-year-old? What? Come on, bro. Ain't no way. Shannon Sharp, to each his own. Do your thing. But I'm telling you, you are 50 something. You could have got you a fire 45-year-old. You could have got you a fire 38-year-old. You could have got you a fire 50-year-old. They already established. You dig? They getting a little gray in their pubes. You know what I'm saying? Their pubes got a curl pattern to it. Like, you don't want, man, what? They already know how to get you to where you're trying to go if you get my drip. They know how to get you to where you. What? Y'all crazy. They know how to, listen, man. Somebody that's 45, 46, they done pushed out 3 Division I college linebackers. Them Kegels are strong. They can crush a can of Sprite with that coochie. Come on, man. What are you doing, Shannon Sharp? You got to get you a Greta. You got to get you a Diane, goddamn. You got to get you a Cicely. What are you talking about? You got to get you a Barbara. What are you doing with a Gabrielle? What? Elsa. You got to get you some, man. You got to get you a, man, you can't even call him a cougar. You just got to get you something that's close to your age range, man. Gifts are simple. You can get them some sour cream for Christmas. They are excited because they know about the thought that counts. You thought about me. You can get a cougar something simple. Yeah. Get her some important lotion. She gonna love you. You hear me? You thought about me? Come on, man. Baby, you know I thought about you. Club Shay thing. My grandfather always told me, if you buy a Buick, you never run down the road twice. I'm like, what? Huh? I can't. Hey, listen, man. BDSM, bondage and discipline, domination and submission, sadism and masochism. I am not into none of that. I'm not into domination and submission. I'm not into sadism. I don't even know what masochism is, honestly. And sadism sounds like Satan. So I don't know nothing about that either. I am a Christian. She told me, you into sadism? Listen, I go to church like on Easter and stuff. Like, don't do me like this. Don't void my baptism. Don't void my baptism. You know what I'm saying? You ever had your baptism voided? Like, I got to go back and get under that water. This I don't know what I was on last night. Let me. They over talking about you back. Now you got to go to another church that don't know you just to get under the water. I need this blessing, and my church won't bless me. Yo, sadism and masochism, domination and submission. I mean, you know, I just ain't into all that. Like, I mean, if domination is, you know, you beating it down, then I guess so. But not other than that, I don't need to tie you to nothing. I don't need you to. I ain't bondage and discipline. Y'all don't listen to nobody. Since when have you just be accountable? That's all I need. Just be accountable, baby. Take your clothes off and be accountable. I am simple. You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no bells and whistles. You know what I mean? Make sure them titties got areolas that look like a Subway cookie. You know what I mean? I'm trying to tell you, boy. Uncle Shay, man. I don't know what he doing, man. Where do you go from here? Like, at this point, I would just go get married, bro. I need me a wife to get my life together. Cause, you know what I'm saying? I at this point, you can't even trust no women no more. Like, your trust is shot. Of course, you getting all you know what I mean? You getting all your action, you Shannon Sharp. You 57, still in shape. You in better shape than 40-year-olds, 30-year-olds. You know what I mean? Now his former stylist, Hollywood, speaks out and says, when I was around, you never heard a single word. I had everything organized. So basically he's saying, like, you know, when Shannon Sharp had his playthings around, he was making sure it's copacetic, basically. And for those that don't know, Shannon Sharp's former stylist was a gay man. And, you know, he used to, when he went to the games and all that, like, he would go to the games with him and, you know, he would style him. And, you know, I guess when everybody started noticing Shannon Sharp showing up with a gay dude, he's like, oh, whoa. So he went back to his old stylist, but he explained it different, though. He tried to say something different, like,
okay, that's his life. That's not mine.
Hold on.
But he was gay. Life. That's not mine. Mm-hmm. Hollywood no longer styles me. Why? Because I'm loyal to Shelley. She was hurt that after 20 plus years of being my stylist, that I had gone outside to hire someone else. And someone else was getting the credit when she was there at CBS. She was there when I started at Fox. She was there when I was going out and doing red carpet events. And I never had a problem. And for me, in my head, I thought I needed someone outside.
Right.
I didn't buy one thing new when Hollywood started styling me. Everything, all those LB jackets, all that stuff that I already had it.
So, you know, you get the gist of that. Like, basically, you know, his stylist, he let him go, you know, and went back to his old stylist. And now that stylist is like, yo, I had everything, you know, under wraps, you know. But I will say, listen, it's different levels, man. You know, they always say new levels, new devils, man. It's different levels out here, man. It's always dudes, man. Fellas, you know somebody, man. I got hoes, man. You know, I got hoes. You think you have hoes. You know, you see a Chrysler 300 and think it's a Rolls Royce until a Rolls Royce pulls up. You know what I'm saying? You think that Chrysler 300 is a Rolls Royce until a Rolls Royce pulls right up beside that motherfucker. And then you'll realize that that's a 19 and that's a 2010 Chrysler 300M. You dig what I'm saying? What I'm saying is basically, man, everything ain't what it seems. We look at these people and see they found success. And then we put them on a mental pedestal to where we think that they don't do normal human things. We think that they don't do anything that's quote unquote shiesty. Not saying Shannon Sharp, but just period. I know people that played in the NFL and they was talking about the big name guys and just how much they had their way. You got a disposable income. You in your 20s and you 100 M's up. You 50, 60 M's up. When you come into a city, you flying chicks in. They in separate hotel rooms. They don't know each other. All they doing is just enjoying themselves and waiting on you. You bouncing around from day to day, hotel to hotel, and they don't know no better because you are who you are. Knocking them down. Now, for some who's into that, do your thing. But as for me, with that kind of, man, y'all boy, if y'all don't get y'all one and lock it down to where you ain't got to worry about none of that, don't nothing need to get in the way of the money. So find you somebody solid and lock it down, man. That's what, man, new levels, new devils. Huh? How's a chick super duper fine and single? Huh? But you got to make it make sense. How are you this fine and you single? You got a spoiled wisdom tooth in there or something. Something is wrong to where you are this fine and you single. You got to make it make sense, man. You know? I think social media, man, I say it all the time, but social media is just getting so complainy. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not even enjoyable no more. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just everybody complains all the time. You know? Everybody got a problem with something all the time. It's like the Lakers lost last night. Okay, the Lakers lost. That's part of the game. But it is people like fighting tooth and nail and going out of their way to, I guess, attack LeBron and attack Luka and say this, that, and the third. It's like, bro, it's just the better team won. You know, that's the end of it. The better team won. That's how it gotta go. Guess what? The best team will win the championship. I don't care who you like. I don't care who you're a fan of. The better team will win the championship. That's just how it goes. But you find people that just need something to complain about. You got people that are contrarians. They hate everything that's popular. Everybody's a fan of this team. He's going to say 9 reasons why he don't like that team. Everybody likes this song. He's going to have 9 reasons why he don't like that song. Everybody likes this movie. He's going to be the one to give it 4 thumbs down because of X, Y, and Z. It's always a contrarian around. It's like, bro, seek therapy. It is it doesn't make you cool or unique to be the contrarian every time something comes out and you just dislike it. How do you like nothing? How do you not you can't enjoy it if you have a reason to not like something all the time. Like, we know more about what you don't like than what you do like. We all know some people like that. All they do is just talk about what they don't like. It's like, bro, I don't even know what you do like. What team are you into? Who's your favorite athlete? Why don't you ever speak about them? You know what I mean? That's what type of time we on. You know? I think it's funny. I think it's funny though, because now going around the internet, I don't know who started it, but everybody picked it up. This whole 100 men versus 1 gorilla. Basically, they saying like who would win between 100 men versus 1 gorilla. And I just hit it with something simple, you know, because everybody's trying to formulate an answer. They trying to create the best list to go up against it. I'll take Mike Tyson, Kimbo Slice. I'll take Junior Seau. Like, they just want to get all of these people. And my answer is very, very simple. Everybody got these lists. Everybody got these scenarios. I just need 100 YNs. You know, they're going to have guns with clips on them, and they're going to shoot with the button on it. I got an answer way more simplified than all of that. I'm black. I'm black. That should answer your question in whatever format that you needed to be answered in. I'm black. That covers everything. That means ain't no way I'm gonna be there. That's a silverback gorilla. We seen how that gorilla dragged that baby at the zoo. By the leg, it's like with ease. Have you ever seen two gorillas fight each other? Bro, it's nothing that nobody can do. It's going to be a massacre out there. Limbs broken, heads busted open, teeth. Oh, you feel me? Like, I'm black. Ain't no way I'm participating in none of that. Listen, man. It's 100 of us. One gorilla sitting there beating his chest. Sound like some 12s in the trunk of a Regal. Base deep. I'm terrified. Who's going to be on the front line to get with the gorilla first? And then once you see them get tossed around and slapped to the ground and blood and guts everywhere, you going to run up too? Man, come on, bro. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. The only people I think that can beat a gorilla, you got to fight fire with fire, man. Any chick that's a part of a motorcycle social club, they will do a great job against a gorilla. Because they know all the women in motorcycle social clubs look just like what they're trying to fight. Like them big back, big arm, like, come on, man. Come on, man. That's who you need to get. Get a chick in a motorcycle social club. Yeah, that chick with the bad face skin, Craig Mack face. Yeah, get her. She got hands. She done beat plenty of boyfriends up. That's why she's single and ready to mingle. Because Dante in the hospital. I'm trying to tell you, boy. I'm trying to tell you. Ain't nobody trying to tussle with no gorilla, man. The closest I get is a motorcycle social club chick. That's the closest I'll tussle with one of them. And I still lose that fight. End up in the hospital. Sounding like Ryan Coogler. With the Sinners movie. We went outside with the Sinners. We tried to get the 8mm film. And then we went to this side. And went to this side. And went to that film with the Sinners movie. Because you know the photography and the videography of the Sinners movie. I don't want no parts, man. I don't want no parts, man. You know what I'm saying? What announcements I got, man? What announcements I got? The Comedy Party Cruise, man. Comedy Party Cruise, January 23rd through the 26th, 2026. If you want to be a part of that, man, check out my I actually got posted again on my Instagram. Check my Instagram story and I'll post a link to it. If you are interested in that and you want to purchase tickets, I am performing on the Comedy Party Cruise. I am the headliner on the cruise. The cruise is going through the Bahamas. You know what I mean? Leaving Fort Lauderdale. You know what I mean? My dog DJ John Q on the ones and twos, man. It's going to be lit, you know? Especially coming off of Christmas, starting a new year, man. With some warmth. Why not? You know what I mean? Shout out to my dog Preload, man. Said social club with that arm patch that look like a blood pressure cuff. Yup. And motorcycle social club. Dark skinned girl with the purple makeup on. Yeah. You don't get your goddamn Chuck E. Cheese robot look at that. Appreciate the super chat, my boy. Appreciate the super chat, man. Yeah, like, you know, I ain't never seen a fine chick in a motorcycle social club. Not never. Not never. Show me. That's the same thing like I have never seen a poly couple with two fine chicks. Never. You can look on the internet and you get those Google couples, but that's AI. I don't believe none of that. I ain't never seen a poly couple where both of the chicks is fine and there's a handsome dude over. And not never. It'd be two booger wolves and a weirdo. Every time. Every time. Grand Rising Queen. Yo, get your, get your 14th Amendment dreads having ass on somewhere, man. It always is some weirdo chicks that's just real horny all the time. Like, come on, bro. Talking about, yeah, me and my wives. What? Come on, man. Can't go for it, man. I just want to say shout out to Shedeur Sanders, man. Despite all of the hate, despite everybody talking down just because you Deion's son, everybody comes from a place of hate because sometimes people are just jealous and they don't want to admit it. And I ain't saying jealous like they want to be you, but they just jealous that they didn't have an upbringing that was great as yours. Your father is one of he's the best DB to ever play the game. Your father provided you and afforded you opportunities that others had to work 10 times as hard to get. That's not your fault. All you did is took advantage of what was in front of you like you were supposed to. The same thing that these other people complaining would have did. And you got people who are anti-Deion and anti-Shedeur. And it's like, bro, that's a kid. You a grown man. You 40 years old. Why are you mad at Shedeur? Why are you mad at Colorado? You didn't never have a problem with Colorado until Deion went. Now all of a sudden you anti-Colorado. Bro, grow up. Grow up. Shedeur Sanders, man, Bronny James, all of them, man. I always root for the underdog, And right now, Shedeur is the underdog because who knows? Cam Ward might go to the Titans and stink it up like Will Levis. Shedeur might be the guy. We don't know. But it's entertainment. You know what I mean? It's some black men whose lives changed for the better. You know what I mean? We always want to hype up trap music and rap music and do all of this type of stuff and hype these people up. What about somebody who's doing something actually positive? You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving me a Shedeur jersey. I'm giving me a Bronny jersey. You know what I mean? I got a Matthew Dellavedova jersey. Right after that game that he shut Steph Curry down in the finals or in the playoffs or whenever they played, I got me a Matthew Dellavedova jersey for the Cavaliers. People's like, Matthew Dellavedova, yup. That represents me, the underdog. That represents who I am. That's what I like. Know what I'm saying? All odds against you, and you go out there and show them what's up. That's all I do in comedy. Just because I be funny here and I be having some follows and be having a couple videos go viral, hey man, this comedy game is different. Because guess what? They want to see you do good, but they don't want to see you do better than them. You dig? You got older or more tenured comedians hating on people who ain't been doing it as long as them. Just finding reasons to be upset. I seen a comedian, an OG comedian, say he don't like when people sit down on stage because they ain't earned the right to do it. Who are you to tell them how they're supposed to tell their jokes on stage? What does it have to do with you and your career? Who are you to tell them that? How are you focused on being funny, criticizing what somebody else is doing? If this is how they be funny, let them rock. I seen somebody else talk about comics shouldn't tell certain jokes because they hacky, which means it's a common topic. But if this is what it takes for them to get good at what they do, then why not let them rock? Nobody stopped you. Now that you done got a little good, you the rule of measurement to tell people what they need to do. Stop it. Stop it. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like I'm the underdog. I walk in these rooms, comedians will look at you. Are you from yes, what's up, man? Yeah, come on, man. Stop playing. I get on stage and do me. And walk off that motherfucker like knowing what's up. Like the crowd's telling me what's up. I ain't got to ask nothing. You know what I'm saying? This is real. I've had people, when my special dropped, I had people tell me that they watched the special And what's funny about it is I know they didn't watch the special because the way that they told me that they watched the special. Because if you watched the special, you would have told me in a totally different tone and you would have had more to say than I watched the special. Good shit. You would have had way more to say because I left it out on the floor and it was one of them ones. I don't ever take it personal, but you got to recognize it for what it is. Same thing with Shedeur in there, man. You got to recognize it for what it is, man. You know, everybody's quick to jump ship for the popularity is concerned. But nobody is cool with rooting for the underdog because it ain't the popular thing to do. I don't care nothing about being popular. I'm rooting for the underdog. You dig? With that said, man, you know, this has been episode 72 of the Areola Rollercoaster podcast, man. I appreciate y'all staying up late with me. Tomorrow, you know, is my son's move out day, college, man. He just completed his first year of college. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to my boy. Proud of my boy. I'm proud of my boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Completing his first year of college, man. Said he aced his final today. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful thing. So, you know, we, you know, driving up and getting him moved out tomorrow, man, you know. And all is beautiful. Dig what I'm saying? All is beautiful. So, without further ado, man, you know, we're going to get out of here how we get out of here, man. You dig? Yeah. Episode 72, man, of the Areola Rollercoaster podcast, man. I'm your boy Starks, man. Make sure y'all share this with somebody. Make sure you tag somebody in this joint. You know what I mean? If you see me on social media posting the show logo or something, man, share it in your story or something, man. Get the word out, man. You know what I mean? Other than that, y'all enjoy y'all weekend, man. Follow me on social media, man. Real Starks 27 on Instagram. Starks Comedy on Snapchat, man. The Starks Comedy channel, man. I'm posting my comedy and everybody else's comedy, man. Totally different vibe. Starks TV on YouTube, as you know. You know what I mean? And that's what we doing, you dig? So, other than that,
Oh my God.
you know how we do.
Let's get to it.